Good morning, Tom. I'm playing a little game I'd like to call You Change Location, I Change Location. Nah, it's not actually that at all. It's more like the game Chris's Eternal Quest for Better Lighting, but it'll be an ongoing process. So you want me to see the Doctor Who spin-off? That is Torchwood. Whoa, it's just here in my hand, like I was expecting it. As you can probably tell, I plan on watching Torchwood next week or the week after that, depending on if I can get BBC America, which I currently do not have. So having me watching that might evolve into me buying the discs, or you buying the discs and letting me come over to watch them with you. That is what I think it shall evolve into. And in preparation for this plan, I decided to bone up on my knowledge of Torchwood. Therefore, I rented the second season on DVD from the library. And I found that it was a lot better than I remember. I mean, a lot better relatively, because this is the second season, and I only remember episodes from the first season before, and I remember them being very bad, like you described. Actually, the second season had a remarkable number of episodes that reminded me of episodes I really liked from other shows. For example, there's an Out of Gas-esque episode, and then there's that episode that is exactly like the Buffy episode, where Jonathan becomes the Vampire Slayer instead of Buffy. And I think episodes like that one and the Out of Gas episode worked just as well in this season as they did in their other series. And speaking about Buffy episodes in Torchwood, it seems like there's a lot more similarities with those two series than could be dismissed as coincidental. Young men in long trench coats who stay young forever but live their lives starting from around the early 1800s and do good for the rest of their lives until the 20th century. Or excuse me, the 21st century in Torchwood's case. Vampires who show up at your wedding and ruin them. An episode where someone is dead, then brought back to life, and is very depressed with living because being dead was better. Both the shows use James Marsters as an opposing really evil villain, and a hero that comes over to the good guy's side to save the day in the end. And if I'm spoiling the ending of the season, I'm very sorry. Anyway, now that I've watched Season 2 of Torchwood, I think I'm ready for Children of Earth. Actually, on a whole, Season 2, probably better than Doctor Who Season 1. So yeah, just letting you know how I feel about that. On to the second most important point of your last video. You really haven't talked about Doctor Who? Yeah, I guess you haven't. I mean, I hear you talk about Doctor Who so much, sometimes my head just replaces words. I mean, it feels like you've talked about Doctor Who in the past few videos. In fact, for you to hear what I hear in, for example, last video, just take every time you say car and replace it with Dalek, and take every time you say computer and replace it with Cyberman, or computers and Cybermen, and take every time you say video editing capabilities and replace that with exterminating or deleting capabilities. And voila, you have a certified Chris version of videobloggery. Speaking of whether I should buy a Dalek or a Cyberman, yeah, I've decided not to buy that Dalek that was offered to me. It was kind of old and used, and it didn't really run, and it needed work on it. Now, I'm no xenobiologist, so I mean, I'd just be trying this stuff kind of improvising. And I hear fixing up a Dalek takes a lot of time, money, and, well, more money, and then energy. So the money I would have used spending on that is secure for now, and I am definitely open to the idea of buying a Cyberman. However, I think it'll take some convincing before you can tell me to get a Mac. So you, Tom, and the viewers of Videobloggery can take it upon yourselves to convince me to get a Mac. Now, what am I looking for in a Cyberman? Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of looking for familiarity? I'm looking for something that I'm used to. Preferably I'd like a laptop with built-in webcam, but I mean everything comes with that now. And it needs to have Windows Office, but preferably not the Vista Office. Actually, I don't know enough about computers right now to give any sort of specifications of what I'm looking for. Well, Tom, I think that's about all I've got for today. Post your next video by Saturday, again at noon. And if you don't, your punishment is you have to make a video bloggery where you have actually no interaction with the camera. You just write it down as a director and then hand off the scripts to other people. Actually, that sounds like a fun idea. I might do that sometime. P.S. In my next video bloggery, I plan to sing a song, so don't give me any questions I have to give a lot of feedback on.